Let me ask you something. You work your entire career. You climb from the absolute bottom, obscure shows in front of 50 people in Europe, all the way to the top of the mountain. You become the longest reigning intercontinental champion in the history of WWE. You win the World Heavyweight Championship. You are, by every measurable standard, the best in-ring performer on the planet right now. And then WWE hands you Jey Uso. Yeet. That's it. That's the opponent. That's your WrestleMania moment. Now look, before you click off, before you go to the comments and tell me I'm wrong, hear me out. Because what I'm about to break down for you is not just a match announcement. It's a story about disrespect, about legacy, about what WWE truly thinks of Gunther. And by the end of this video, you're going to have an opinion, a strong one, and I want you to share it. Stay with me. This goes deeper than you think. What is up, WrestleScope Nation? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, and if you are new here, hit that subscribe button right now because we do not play games on this channel. We break it down, we give you the real talk, and we never, ever sugarcoat what's happening in the world of professional wrestling. Today, we are going deep on one of the most controversial, most debated, most passionately argued WrestleMania matchups in recent memory. Gunther, Jey Uso, the World Heavyweight Championship, WrestleMania 41. This is the match WWE decided to build its world title picture around for the grandest stage of them all. And depending on which side of the fence you fall on, you either think this is a beautiful underdog story or the single biggest missed opportunity in Gunther's career. Let's get into it. To truly understand why this match hit differently, you have to go back to the 2025 Royal Rumble. Nobody, and I mean nobody, had Jey Uso winning that thing. We had Roman Reigns lurking, we had CM Punk, we had Seth Rollins. The landscape was absolutely loaded with main event talent, and Jey was in that match almost as a feel-good dark horse candidate. And then it happened. 30 men entered, and the last one standing, the one who last eliminated none other than John Cena to claim that coveted WrestleMania title shot, was main event Jey Uso. The crowd erupted. Now here's where it gets interesting. As a Royal Rumble winner, Jey had his pick. Any champion, any brand. The WWE Championship held by Cody Rhodes, available. Any number of marquee matchups, on the table. Jey chose Gunther. And honestly, the moment he made that choice, the pro wrestling internet split right down the middle. Because here's what a lot of people forget. Jey Uso and Gunther have history. These two have collided before, and every single time Gunther came out on top. In intercontinental title matches, in world title clashes, the ring general had Jey's number. He beat him more than once. So when Gunther heard the news, he was not impressed. He made that crystal clear. Let's talk about what Gunther said publicly, because this is where it gets spicy. Gunther openly admitted that Jey Uso was not his ideal opponent for WrestleMania. He said, and I'm paraphrasing here, that his hopes were to mix it up with someone like CM Punk, Seth Rollins, or Roman Reigns. He wanted the blockbuster collision. He wanted the generational clash of titans. Instead, he got a guy he'd already beaten, more than once. Now, I want you to think about that from Gunther's perspective for a second. This man has been on an historic run, the longest intercontinental championship reign of all time, 619 days. Then he wins the World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam. He's been a dominant, credible, legitimate champion for years. He's arguably the standard bearer for in-ring excellence in all of WWE right now. And his WrestleMania opponent is someone he's already defeated? To his credit, Gunther did something mentally tough right there. He didn't publicly bury the match. He accepted it. He said, I think we managed it very well. And then, just to make absolutely sure Jey Uso understood what was coming, Gunther went to work. He attacked Jey from behind on the February 10th episode of Raw. He zip-tied Jey Uso to the ropes. And then he proceeded to viciously beat Jimmy Uso, Jey's twin brother, his flesh and blood, into a bloody, broken mess while Jey was forced to watch, powerless, unable to do anything. That is not a wrestling angle. That is a psychological demolition. That is Gunther saying, I will break you before we even get to Las Vegas. And that is how this match became something much bigger than a title defense. Here's where I'm going to give credit where credit is due, because as frustrated as some fans were with this matchup, WWE found the thread that made it work. The story was never really about whether Jey Uso was at Gunther's technical level. Wrestling has never been purely about technical ability. It's about emotion. It's about stakes. It's about making you feel something. And what WWE tapped into is this. Jey Uso is the most organically beloved babyface in WWE right now. Every single arena he walks into, those fans are on their feet. The yeet chants are deafening. He makes people feel joy in a way that very few performers in the history of this industry can manufacture. Gunther, on the other hand, is the perfect foil. Cold, calculating, arrogant, technically flawless, and utterly convinced that sentiment and popularity have no place in professional wrestling. He believes in dominance. He believes in legacy. He does not believe in Jey Uso.
That tension, that contrast, that is Wrestlemania gold. You had a prideful champion who didn't want this match, but committed to destroying his challenger anyway because that's what Gunther does. He doesn't half commit. He went to war. And you had an underdog who'd been beaten before, who'd been humiliated, who'd watched his brother get bloodied, carrying the weight of an entire fan base on his back, walking into the biggest show in the world one more time. That is a story as old as professional wrestling itself, and it works every single time.
Wrestlemania 41, Allegiant Stadium, Paradise, Nevada. Wrestlemania Vegas, 19th of April 2025. 60,000 plus people packed into that stadium. The first Wrestlemania to stream internationally on Netflix. The energy was electric from the moment that building opened its doors. And the match that opened night one, the very first match of the entire two-night spectacular, Gunther versus Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, some people had opinions about where on the card this match was placed. The CM Punk versus Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns triple threat ultimately got the night one main event slot, and Cody Rhodes versus John Cena headlined night two in what was seen as final WrestleMania. Gunther was asked about his match not being in the main event. His answer? Genuine class. He said there are two main event spots, and at the end of his career, what will matter is that he did what he loved. He wasn't going to stress about positioning. But here's the thing about opening WrestleMania. When you go first, you set the tone for the entire show. You either wake the crowd up or you kill the room. There is no middle ground. Gunther and Jey Uso woke that building up. The bell rang. Gunther with that first thunderous chop to the chest, the kind of chop that echoes through an entire arena and makes your skin crawl even watching it on a screen. And Jey fought back. He always fought back. There were near falls, there were moments where it looked like it was over, where Gunther's sheer dominance seemed like it would be too much. But Jey kept getting up. The crowd kept getting louder. 3 Uso splashes. And then, the sleeper hold. Gunther, the master of submission wrestling, the ring general who had choked out opponents his entire career, found himself caught. Jey Uso locked in the sleeper, and the ring general, after 259 days as World Heavyweight Champion, could not get out. Gunther topped out. The roof came off Allegiant Stadium. Main event Jey Uso, 15 years after signing with WWE, a man built on tag team excellence alongside his twin brother, became a world champion for the first time in his career. Was the finish abrupt? Some felt it was. Some felt Gunther topping quickly was slightly underwhelming for a moment that big. That's a fair critique, and I hear you. But think about what we got in the context of that story. Gunther, the stoic, the unbreakable, the ring general, submitted by a man he underestimated. The arrogant champion undone by the heart of the underdog. That's not just a match result. That's a narrative payoff 4 years in the making. Now here's the take that nobody wants to hear, but we're going to say it on this channel because that's what we do. Gunther losing this match does not diminish Gunther. In fact, and I genuinely believe this, how Gunther carries himself from this point forward is going to define the next chapter of what may be an all-time great career. He wanted Punk, Rollins, or Reigns. He got Jey Uso and turned it into a compelling WrestleMania story. He was a world-class villain throughout the build. He had a great match on the biggest stage in the world. That is the mark of a generational performer. The question now is, where does the ring general go from here? Does he chase the title immediately? Does he rebuild? Does he finally get that collision with Punk, Rollins, or Reigns that he craved? Because there is unfinished business everywhere you look for Gunther, and frankly, his best WrestleMania moment might still be ahead of him. Gunther at 37 years old is not finished writing his story, not even close. So let me bring it back to where we started. Was Jey Uso the right opponent for Gunther at WrestleMania? Was this a missed opportunity for the ring general to have the blockbuster technical masterpiece he deserved? Or did WWE thread the needle perfectly, giving Gunther a compelling story and the audience an emotional payoff that the bigger names couldn't have delivered? I want your take right now in the comments below. Tell me, are you Team Gunther, furious that he was robbed of a bigger WrestleMania moment? Or are you riding with the yeet and celebrating one of the most emotional title wins in recent memory? Drop it in the comments. Let's have that conversation because this is what WrestleScope is all about. And if you are not subscribed to this channel yet, what are you doing? We break down every match, every storyline, every controversial booking decision with the passion and depth that the WWE universe deserves. Hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell so you never miss a video. And if this video gave you something to think about, hit that like button. It helps more wrestling fans find this channel and join the conversation. We are building something special here on WrestleScope, and I want you to be part of it. Until next time, stay locked in, stay passionate, and never stop watching. Yeet or nah? The comments are open. Let's go.